Oh, my gids. I scarcely have time to get through my Mail and Guardian when it's Sunday morning and it is my Sunday papers. Ach, lieve Aarde, I'm so old-fashioned. My grandchildren keep saying to me, Go, you don't need all these papers on a Sunday morning. You can just go into your iPad or your internet. Ach, it's not the same, my Scott. It's just not the same. And of course, every Sunday there are all sorts of headlines. Gordon off the hook. Dankie Vader, our Minister of Finance isn't waiting for bail. And then, of course, the city press, no arrest, just chill. You see, they're even being funny here. The Weekend Argus says, Gordon in the clear now, says Hawks. Ne? I had such a funny conversation the other day with a very good friend of mine who said, I don't read the Sunday papers because it's just black people. I said, excuse me? They said, no, it's black faces everywhere. Except, my Scott, it's a South Africa filled with a majority of black people. Of course. But of course, some newspapers are different. I mean, the one in Durban, I think the Sunday Tribune is full of Indians. The Cape Argus, the Weekend Argus is full of coloureds. And of course, the City Press is full of the nouveau noir. I love seeing people in the Sunday papers of colour. People who worked for me in the old days and now they're in Parliament. Ach, maar ek weet nie. You know, prejudice is a very strange thing. In the old South Africa, the newspapers were for whites only because all the good news was about white people and all the bad news was about the other people. Except for Brayton Bradenbach, who was, of course, arrested as a terrorist, but then luckily he stayed long in jail and wrote some beautiful poems. Do you know, it is inspiring to see a judge who's not white, to read about a rugby player whose name you can't even pronounce, and to see a beauty queen with this beautiful smile, but a very, very big posterior. Now listen, if she was white, she would it would be the end of her world. But today, fashion and silhouette can adapt to the person with pride and with dignity. Ek is baie opgewonde. Then, of course, 2 days ago, I was at a dinner party sitting next to somebody we all know, and I won't mention his name. And he whispered to me, because a minister was sitting next to him, and he said to me, Evita, don't you sometimes feel like a bywoner in your own country? I said, what do you mean a bywoner? He said, don't you feel like a tourist? I said, yeah, I feel like a tourist in my own country when they change the street names and I can't find my house. He didn't think it was funny. He said, no, everything is in a foreign language, all these African languages. Their music is something I don't get, and I don't understand their social demands. And I said, Mama, Scott, you've got choice. You can get an Australian visa and go and live in Australia and watch your Vietnamese neighbors eat your dogs. Ach, what a waste of energy. There is so much choice. There's so many wonderful things to celebrate. And I am the first person to say the positive is always very, very strong. Well, what can I tell you? It's not terrible news today. It's the usual news today, meaning most of the newspapers say the same thing because they go onto the internet or they go onto that Huffington woman's blog and cut and paste. Al wat ek kan sê, City Press is full of some wonderful comments from young black political commentators. And I am so inspired when I read their comments dat laat my ou voortelike hart klop. Ah, dankie Vader, hier is rapport. Ek dog ek is die enigste wit gesiggie in die dorp. Ooh, ek hoop Steve Hofmeyer is erns.
Evita, Evita, and you know what we mean. Evita, Evita, always on the scene. Evita, Poseidon, oh, Evita should be queen.